In a small village, a boy named Arul spent his days on a porch, watching the world move at a pace he couldn't match. Physical limitations kept him stationary, while the other children ran past in a blur. Most people in the village saw his future as a fixed point. They assumed he would spend his life as a consumer of charity, rather than a person who contributes to his community. Arul was left with a difficult question. How do you begin to demonstrate what you're capable of when everyone around you only sees a reason for pity? His mother provided the first break in that narrative. She didn't offer a grand solution. She handed him a single, living chick. Meaningful momentum doesn't require a sweeping life change. It starts by taking absolute ownership of one small, manageable variable. His mother taught him that growth is a deliberate process. A bird doesn't thrive by accident. It requires consistent food, protection from the elements, and daily attention. Arul focused his limited physical energy on this single task. He cleaned the coop and monitored the temperature, turning his restricted mobility into a habit of intense, consistent care. Eventually, that consistency produced a tangible result: a single egg. To Arul, this wasn't just food. It was evidence that his labor had a specific value in the local market. Confidence is built at this level, one undeniable output at a time. Instead of eating the profits, Arul practiced compound reinvestment. He sold his yield and immediately bought more chicks, delaying his own consumption to grow his capacity. This diagram illustrates how a small reinvestment loop functions. By feeding returns back into the system, the operation moves from simple survival toward a larger structure. The numbers grew quickly. 5 birds became 50. This compounding web transformed his coop into a reliable family income. Neighbors who used to look at Arul with pity began to visit the house to see how he was managing such a precise operation. As the business expanded, Arul's ambition grew with it. But his mother pointed out that growing a business for the sake of wealth alone creates a ceiling on its true value. A business reaches its full potential when the owner finds a way to connect their individual success to the well-being of the people around them. Arul expanded his poultry farm to over 1,000 birds. He began hiring staff and coordinating with other small farmers, creating a network that ensured everyone received a fair price for their work. By becoming a buyer and an employer for his neighbors, Arul shifted his role in the village. He was no longer a person in need of help. He was a person providing a livelihood for others. One day, a young man who had been struggling with his own setbacks approached the farm. He felt the same sense of worthlessness that Arul had once felt on his porch. Arul didn't offer the young man a handout. He offered him a job and taught him the mechanics of the trade, passing on the same lessons of consistency his mother had given him. This is the definition of munetram, or progress. It is the realization that success is more effective when you use it to build a staircase for others to follow. This community impact can be traced back to that first chick. His mother's advice was to start small, but to never let his current circumstances limit the size of his dreams. Ultimately, the quality of a life is measured by the number of people who find their own strength because of the ecosystem you built.